Hi, my name is Gabriella Pierro, and I'm a civil engineering intent with a concentration in transportation.
Addison Davis, and I'm an industrial engineering intent with a focus in health systems.
My name's Emma Johnson, and I am biomedical engineering intent.
I'm Preston Meredith. I'm a mechanical intent.
Explain how you went through the design cycle.
So in the design cycle, the first step is ask. So the question that was asked was to design a toy for kids aged anywhere from 5 to 12, and the only requirement was that it had to be fun. So for our imagine part of the design cycle, we brainstormed ideas and did some research just to see if we wanted to narrow it down. And we chose to design a toy for children with autism from ages 5 to 8. And in order to do that, we just kind of thought of toys any 5 to 8-year-old would enjoy playing with, and thought how we could modify them to meet specific education goals. For planning, we just came up with what type of animal we wanted to use, or stuffed animal, and we figured out that we wanted to use a wolf because it's similar to a therapy dog, and thought it would work in a similar way. And the kids would have fun playing with it and be able to engage with it. And then for Create, we went to the makerspace here at NC State, and we took our stuffed animal that we got, and we came up with our emotions and put them in the embroidery machine. And first we did it with canvas and just black and white thread and everything, and then after that, in order to improve it, we went through and did it on felt so it would make it more colorful and it didn't fray as easily. And so we wrote a book called Tuffy's Day at NC State, and it walks the user through different situations and emotions that Tuffy may be having throughout his day. This allows the user to be able to match the emotions in the book and on the expression chart to the stuffed animal, and they also had colors associated with them. So the felt for the happy face was yellow, and the felt for the angry or mad face was red. This helps the children also relate the emotions and feelings to a color. The chart that we included with the toy had happy, sad, tired, scared, and angry on it, and the children could change it out as they went through the story or just as they expressed how they felt.
What was the problem or question this project was trying to address?
Okay, so we were trying to teach children with autism about facial recognition and emotion recognition.
How did you decide on this project?
So after doing research, we knew we wanted something with interchangeable parts and faces and stuff. So we thought of Mr. Potato Head, but we wanted something softer and more comforting for the children, so we decided on a stuffed animal.
And if you could change one thing, what would it be?
I would probably make the stuffed animal ourselves, the body of it, because we got a lot of comments on that at FEDD Day, and it just would have been more creative and original. What was the hardest part of the project?
I think for us, the hardest part was trying to figure out how to use the software with the embroidery machine, and kind of transferring our idea in our head of what the project was going to look like to the software to the physical prototype that we made.
Explain one time when you had to change plans because something did not work out.
So after getting the feedback from the school, we got the feedback, but we also got our toy back, and we noticed that the canvas we used for the expressions was frayed at the ends. And so using that information and the feedback we got, we changed our materials around a little bit. So we actually changed from canvas to felt, which made it, first of all, softer, but it also didn't fray on the ends like our first prototype did. So after running into that challenge, we kind of adjusted what we were doing and used the feedback to help us move forward.
How can you use the skills you learned in the future?
So the biggest part of our project was definitely using the embroidery machine. So I think knowing how to use that for the future in engineering projects, or just engineering in general, or just for fun if I wanted to do crafts, and also using the resources that we have available in the makerspace, and learning about those resources will definitely be helpful in the future for projects.
How did the team fare at competition day?
So at FEDD Day, we ended up not placing, but the judges ended up taking our project in, and they plan to use it in a guidance office, which focusing on counseling for kids and they're going to use it to allow kids to show their emotions, so they can say, oh, how are you feeling? And they can use the wolf for that, and they can also use it for just playing with it like how we intended and using the different expressions.
What advice would you give to future freshmen?
So for future freshmen, I would suggest focusing on really getting along with your team and being able to communicate with them. And also in doing that, you want to start early and maybe meet twice a week. I would probably start out with once a week, get an idea down and start working twice a week, and really get your project done early and get it submitted in for evaluation so you have plenty of time to go back and fix it, because we ended up being short on time for fixing it, but we got it done.
What would you do differently if you had to do it over again?
So if we had to do it over again, like I said, we'd probably start earlier and just get it done ahead of time and have it turned in so we have a bunch of time to work on it and fix anything that they didn't like or they want change, especially if it would be something big, because you never know how big their suggestions will be. And also we would probably work on maybe building or designing our own stuffed animal to be used, because a lot of the judges didn't like that. We used another one, but we thought it would be ideal because it's more playful and the kids would enjoy it more.
So we also thought it was super cool that when we were at FEDD, the judges took our toy to go back to the school that it was tested at to be put in a guidance counselor's office so that the kids could express their emotions and work on how to discuss what they're feeling.